this embellishment book and the shaker tag. So I'll be giving you the measurements so you can create it by hand. In case you don't have a Cricut, you can do it by hand. And if you're doing this by hand, you can just make a square tag or rectangular shaped tag to go with your project. So I'll just do a little quick flip through. It's really simple. And so then this fits really nicely down in your backpack. And then there's room too for some other things as well. So hope you like it and stay tuned for the tutorial.
Okay, here we are with the mini album embellishment book file, and the pink is 110-pound cardstock, and the different colors of paper or on the file are for your decorative paper, and those will go on the front and back of the pink base pages, and these are your spine. And you'll be able to see better with the tutorial if you have any questions, and you can always just put a question in the description box below or reach out to me on Facebook or Instagram.
The measurements are 11.5 by 6 inches. So this is 11.5 by 6 inches. We're going to score it at 4 3/4 and 6 3/4. And you will need to cut 4 sheets of decorative paper out that measure 4.5 wide by 5 3/4 tall. And you will need 2 pieces that are 1 3/4 by 5 3/4. And these will be for your spine. So I'll hold that there. Okay. And for the insert or inside pages, your cardstock piece will be 9.5 wide by 5 inches tall, and you're going to do your score lines at 4 1/4 and 5 1/4 inches. And you will need 4 pages, the decorative paper, that are 4 inches wide by 4 3/4 inches tall. Oops. So 4 of those, and 1 piece for your spine that is 3/4 inch wide by 4 3/4 inches tall. So these are your measurements, and what we're going to do is we're going to put glue on our pages and then glue them to, since this will be like our cover and spine, we're just going to figure out where we want our paper to be. So I'm just going to use my art glitter glue, and I'm going to glue all of my pages to the cardstock, my decorative paper pages. And I'm just going to leave like a little border like that. So let me pause this, glue all of this, and then I'll show you how I'm going to do the score tape. Okay, so I have adhered my decorative pages to my cardstock and made my book, and I will show you where I put the score tape at. So the 4 pages did the front and the back, and then this is the spine page, and I did change this around with the paper. Sometimes that happens, you know, when you're putting it together, you change your mind. So the 4 pieces on the front, 2 on the front, 2 on the back, and the 2 spine pieces in the middle for our spine. And then the insert or pages of the album, 4 pieces, you know, front and the back. And we only need 1 spine piece here in the center, and then on the back and on the spine is where I put my score tape. So you can see where it folds over. You want to make sure your score tape is not on the score line, but beside of it on the inside. And we will go ahead and stick this in our book. Let me burnish this again. Wasn't sticking real well. There we go. And okay, I'm just going to eyeball it. So let bring it in here. I'm just going to center it between the score lines and top to bottom. And that looks pretty good to me. You can see it. There we go. So now I'm just going to run my fingers on it for just a second, and then I'm going to take my bone folder and adhere it. So now we have our embellishment book, or, you know, just a quick and easy little mini album. Okay, so here we have the pieces that I cut out to make my shaker tag, and I will measure the tag and let you know how big it is. I did change the size of it. I made it smaller for the second backpack, but the tag will measure, it is 1 3/4 by 2 3/4 at its tallest part there. So what I'm going to do is I am going to glue my decorative piece, and I chose this side for my decorative side, and a piece of cardstock cut to that, and then this will be the back of my tag. So I'm going to glue these 3 layers together. I'll be right back. Okay, so I have these 3 pieces glued together, and I forgot to tell you, I have a piece of acetate for the front, and I'm going to go ahead and glue this piece on the front of the acetate, and it will help me keep from losing it as well. So I'm just going to put a little tiny bit. I don't want it to ooze all over, so I'm just putting a very thin amount on here. Now let's line it up. Okay, I had a friend give me a trick to kind of tap the glue, your paper like that, and that gets off the excess when you don't want a lot of glue. I just got some on the acetate because it was on my finger. I'm a messy crafter. Okay, let's see here. Just gonna line that up and get it on there. Just push it in. I'm going to take a baby wipe, and I have a little bit of excess glue in one spot. Let me get a hold of my baby wipes and scooch that over to the end. Okay. I'm just going to wipe this off. That way it won't streak. I'm just going to put this piece to the side here. Okay. Just going to lay it over here. And now what I'm going to do is, I have cut this out of heavy cardstock, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I'm going to glue at least 7 of these together, if not all 8. And all I do is, I just put the glue, you know, this part doesn't really matter because I can wipe the outside edge off with glue because I want it to adhere. I'm just going to put the glue around and take one of these, lay it on top, and line these up, and this will give us like a little, you know, our little well to put our shaker in. So you just go around. Before I squeeze it together, I make sure it's lined up. So that's 2, and we'll just build these. And, you know, I'm not squeezing my glue very hard because you know, it's not going to take much it's such a thin piece of paper. So I will just go ahead and pause this because I know nobody wants to watch me glue these together. And then I will be back. Like I said, I'm not sure if I want to use all 8. It depends on how thick it becomes. I probably will just go ahead and use all 8. So I'll have a good well, so it'll shake really well and nothing will get stuck in between the acetate and the paper tag. Okay, so I'm going to pause this and I will be right back. Okay, so I have glued all 8 pieces together, so that gives me a really thick base or well, and I'm just going to go ahead and glue it to my tag. Here, put it on this, make sure I get it in the right spot. I'm just pushing this together really well so that lines up pretty good. Just squeezing it. I'm going to let this dry for just a little bit before I put my sequins in. Okay, my sequins here. So we'll decide what we want to put in. I'm going to do some of these little flowers. And these sequins are from, I think it's Cartwright sequins. So these are Moonshine 5mm. And I think I want to do a little bit of a green. Just a couple of them. Just to break it up there. And these are Caribbean green 5mm. I guess I should have put some of these, well, they look Christmassy, so let's see, what else do we want to put in there? And I'm almost out of my favorite pink ones, and they're just pink 5mm flat opaque, so I'm going to have to get some more of these. Get some of those in, and I think I have some pale pink flower, iridescent flower ones I'll put in as well. Put a few more of those. And I think I'll do a few of the gold 8mm metallic circles. That's what those look like. Put a few of those in. I think that's pretty good. I always put too much. I can't help it. So yeah, that looks pretty good. We lost one. I'm just flattening in. There we go. Flatten them out so I can put the cover one. And I'm just going to do a little tiny bead of glue around. Okay, I got just a little tiny bit right there. We go. And just going to lay that on top and push it down. Starting folder, I'm just going to go around the edge. Okay. So I'll let this dry and I will be back. And here's our shaker. So it shakes really well. You can tap it. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this little plastic, I think these are called bells, I think. I'm not sure. It's jewelry findings. I'm just going to glue that to the back and then I'll be able to hang it on the outside of my backpack. So I'm just going to take a little dot of the glue. I think I said I use the art glitter glue. My bottle's looking a little rough. But it is the best glue. Whoops, as I touch that. Do a little bit more. And, whoops. We will center this on there. That looks pretty good. And it will dry clear. And so we have our shaker. So thanks for watching.